Hello and welcome to this very special episode of ET Now Hangouts with me, Ankita Saxena. Well, I have a very special guest on the show today. And you might have seen him as a fierce opponent on the cricket field against the Indian team. But today he's forging a rather intimate relationship with the Indian consumers through his entrepreneurial offerings. Now, I'm talking about the former Australia captain and cricket legend Steve Waugh, who's teamed up with Tim Thomas to co-found Australia Essence, a premium luxury offering to the Indian market. And they will have a whole host of products ranging from wellness, beauty, food and beverages. To give more color on this, I'm joined by both Steve and Tim today. Hi, Steve. Hi, Tim. Thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us on ET Now Hangouts.
Thank you.
Thank
Nice
you.
to be here.
Well, right off the bat, Steve, you have had a very intimate relationship with India, with a very long-standing relationship. First, on the field as a fierce opponent, and then, of course, you're working with the Center of India-Australia bilateral relationships as well. Now you're forging a rather intimate relationship because you have to work with the consumers now through your entrepreneurial offering. And while you have faced the Indian cricket team on the field, how prepared are you to face the challenging Indian consumer of it?
Yeah, good question. Hopefully okay, because I've been coming to India now for 40 years. First tour was back in 1986, so obviously a long cricketing career. Then I got involved in philanthropy, had a long association with India, just finished a photographic book all through India. And now the business venture, Australia Essence. So it's really showcasing Australian products to the Indian market and hopefully making the entry into India a lot easier than it otherwise would be, because it's a little bit complicated to bring your product to India and make it work. So it's either with our team at Australia Essence, we hope to make that a smooth transition for people wanting to showcase their products into India. Australia's got some amazing produce, and that is our aim.
Yes, absolutely. And Tim, let me get you in also. Now, with AEG, you are getting luxury products into the Indian premium market. What do you think is going to work as far as the Indian luxury market is concerned? What is the market for it, and what is going to be the headroom for growth for you?
So I do think that there is a shift in the way the luxury market is consuming in India. I think there's a move in luxury consumption from indulgence to intentionality or conscious consumption. And I think Australia has amazing stories behind its products, its produce, obviously marked by provenance and ethical supply chains, but also some salt-of-the-earth business owners who are really been building fantastic products and businesses for multiple generations. So we think the headroom, to answer your question, is to be able to curate the best products for where the Indian aspirational consumer is today, but also to be able to tell that story in a way that culturally resonates.
Right. Also, what entails in your product portfolio? You have a couple of brand portfolios, whether it is in wellness or food or beverages. Take us through that. Give us some color on that as well.
Yeah, look, we feel very passionately about where Australia brings a unique proposition to India. If I think about fresh produce, there is so much amazing produce that comes out of the smaller states of Australia, like Tasmania, in cherries, in scallops, in cheeses. So there is opportunities to bring the best of Australian fresh produce. We feel very strongly about the food technology aspects of what Australia brings. So in the way we mix flavors from our provenance into olive oil, into nutritional snacks, and then beverages. We've got some really interesting, highly, I guess, intentional ways of consuming beverages, such as alkaline water and a brand called Alka Power. And then Steve will talk about high performance apparel. We think the Indian consumer, particularly at the aspirational end, is through gymming and elite sports, is really taking off in terms of demand. And I think, Steve, you would say there's a lot of opportunity for high
the
performance.
water's an interesting story. The alkaline water, that comes from Barrel, which is Don Bradman's hometown, so there's a link there to cricket. And now the product we're bringing right now is oat milk, and Steve Smith and Alex Carey are partners in that business. So there's a lot of linkage to cricket there as well. Some apparel brands. I mean, when I was playing, I used compression garments. I was one of the first players to do that, so I know the benefits of that. So there's some great Australian companies that have got that technology which they can export to India. So we're looking at innovative Australian products, very authentic, that can have an impact in the Indian market, and that's food and water and sporting products. Yeah, there's a whole range of things we can introduce.
Right. In fact, Steve, you have had your ear to the ground because you have been doing a lot of charity work in India. So you, in a way, understand the Indian, you have a pulse on India, if you will.
Yeah.
What do you think will work for the Indian consumers through your offering?
I think products that are genuine and authentic, that you don't have to sell too much. I mean, they speak for themselves. They're the products I'm interested in. Every product we introduced today in the Steve Ball hamper is something I've used and believed in. And I know the owners, I know their stories, they're real people. And I think Indians will see that connection straight away. They've got great backstories. They're in it to make a difference. If they do that, they're not making money, but it's about producing a good product. And that's what I'm interested in, because when I played cricket for Australia, it was all about having complementary players in a team with different personalities, different character traits. But at the end of the day, they're all playing for the team, and that's what we want to bring products to India that are really worthwhile and are quality.
Right. Also, Tim, talk to us about how do you plan to market these products, because you will have to spread awareness about these products. What is going to be your marketing mix?
I think that will be our core capability that we bring to the market. As Steve says, we have great stories to tell, but then we need to tell them in a way that resonates with the local, if you like, cultural ecosystem. So we'll work with top retailers to work with them to deliver new consumer experiences that retailers have never had the chance to before. We will work with online channels, and we'll work with the B2B market as well. But I think there'll be a lot of education that we will invest upfront in Australia's story in terms of great product, great provenance, ethical supply chains. What you read on the label is what you get inside the tin.
Right. Also, talk to us about the distribution and the supply. Do you plan to be just offline and offline offering, or are you planning a more omni-channel approach? How is that going to work?
Yeah, we've really studied the way the premium consumer behaves in India, and it's very much, I've heard the word phygital. I used to use the word omni-channel, but now I believe phygital is one, which is where you get educated offline. You might do a lot of the further education online, but you might want to experience the product in the store. So we will definitely be playing across online and offline.
So what, according to you, are going to be the key levers for growth for an international luxury brand to enter Indian market?
So we've studied what the Europeans do, what the Americans do. I think the strategy for Australia, as Steve says, has to be quite different. It's around authenticity. So if we can find a way to pick the right brands, the categories are going to grow. I mean, the food category, the beverage category, the lifestyle category, the wellness category, they're going to grow. So it's only a question of how do you compete? And how do you compete is really around authentic storytelling. We've got great products, but then how we tell the story is important. But we don't think there are constraints on the growth. We're very optimistic. I think we've heard the statistics that by 2027, there'll be 100 million premium consumers in India. That the economy is going to double by 2030, of which 60% will come from the consumer economy. So we're very confident in the growth trajectory of the premium consumer market. And we think our marketing strategy is the right one to bring the best products under the Australia Essence house of brands.
So you planning to launch, what are going to be key markets? What are the areas of focus as of now?
As of now, we'll go category by category. But for example, if we think about the premium wine category, we think there's great opportunity in markets like Bangalore, markets like Mumbai. I think we'll go category by category. So India is many Indias. In my time when I was with AXA, building AXA's business across 200 cities across India, that's one thing you learn, that every city, every product requires a different strategy. But we'll be very flexible in how we grow.
Right. Steve, in your second innings as an entrepreneur, what are your aspirations?
Same as, I guess, in cricket and philanthropy, is to do the best job I can possibly do, to give it everything and to make sure it becomes a success. And also realise that not every day is going to be successful. There's going to be some downs. That's how you come back the next day really counts. How can you improve your business? How can you make it better? And what are you going to do to make it happen? So it all becomes attitude. It's about learning as well. I wasn't the finished product when I first played for Australia. In fact, I didn't score a century for 3.5 years. I didn't win a test match for 2 years.
Yeah. Then
we went on to win 16 tests in a row. I became the number one batsman in the world. So for me, it's about learning, continually trying to get better, be aspirational, and do the best job you can be. So I think the lessons I learned in sport are the same in business. It's about perseverance and bouncing back the next day and getting better.
Okay, so what's the analogy between cricket and entrepreneurship? I mean, you've just started out.
Sure.
What are the analogies that you can draw?
I think it's back yourself and have a go. Don't doubt yourself. You can achieve anything if you put the work into it and if you have the passion for it and commitment. But you've got to have something. You've got to have the fire in the belly. You can't have people force you to do it. You've got to want to do it yourself.
Right. And, as a cricketer, I'm sure you have a certain playbook or the rules that you play by. What would be in your entrepreneurial or startup playbook?
Think big, don't listen to someone if they say you can't do it.
Yeah.
I think surround yourself with people who have got positive attitudes, who believe in you and who back you.
Finally, Tim, what's your vision for Australia, I sense, for the next 5 years? Because India is also in its growth journey. In fact, the discretionary spends are picking up. The luxury market is booming and burgeoning in India. What's your vision? And can you put a certain number to it?
So firstly, we want to bring the best of Australian products to India. So we want to continue to be very selective in which brands join the platform. Our vision in 5 years is that those brands deliver high performance. So high performance in an Indian context is, $50, $75 million of revenue for each of the high performing brands. But ultimately, we want to be the natural choice for any Australian premium product. Who do they come to? They come to Australia Essence to enter the Indian market.
I have a couple of rapid fire questions for you.
Okay.
Let's see if you can hook or duck our googlies.
Okay.
Cricket or entrepreneurship?
Entrepreneurship.
Which bowler was your biggest nightmare?
Well, there's a few of those. Curtly Ambrose.
Which batsman were you most afraid of while bowling?
Let's say Viv Richards.
Vivian Richards. Okay. Who was the most annoying team member, the troublemaker you had trouble keeping in check as a captain?
Well, probably the most annoying team would be a tie between Merv Hughes and Glenn McGrath.
Glenn McGrath.
And Merv Hughes, yeah.
Most memorable moment on the field and off it?
On the field, it's hard to get past winning the 87 World Cup here in India at Eden Gardens in front of 100,000 people. That was amazing. The worst moment, there probably wasn't too many. Look, I think every time you make a duck in a test match, you feel a bit embarrassed. So and I think I scored 32 test centuries and I scored about 28 ducks. So many times, probably being dropped is probably a low point in anyone's career, but
Yeah.
it can also be a turning point.
Okay, so who's your favorite all-time cricketer and the current one as well?
Wow. Look, I'll keep it to an Indian context because I assume that's be a popular answer. I think I never played against this guy, but I really admire the way he played MS Dhoni.
Okay.
Because he always seemed to have that magical touch of winning and he had that aura about him, the way he carried himself. Current favourite. I'll keep it Indian as well. I like the way Rishabh Pant plays. He's got no fear and he just, any situation, he believes he can overcome it.
Who was a better fielder, you or Mark?
Probably most people say Mark, so I tend to agree with that. We were both naturally talented, but he was one of the best slip fielders that ever played the game.
Okay. Most painful defeat as a captain?
I know what you want me to say.
Eden Garden, maybe?
No, of course not. No, that was, a great test match. And, yeah, we would have liked to have won. But having said that, when you play against great opposition and they're just too good for you, sometimes you're going to say, you guys are too good. So I know you want me to say that, but I'm not going to say that. I never saw defeat as being painful. I just saw it as part of the game.
You clearly ducked there.
Yes.
But what's your favourite Indian cuisine?
I like all foods, I must admit. I love the vegetarian food in India. Yeah,
Okay.
okra is my favourite vegetable.
Okay.
Or bindi.
So if a Bollywood biopic was being made on your life, which Indian actor would play Steve O?
I have no idea. And no one would want to do that anyway. You could probably
I'm
answer
sure there are
that.
lots.
You maybe can answer that better than me. I'm not sure.
One Bollywood actress you'd like to take out on a date?
Oh, look, I can't because I'm married, I wouldn't be able to do that. Look, Pretty's interesting. I think she's involved in cricket and I think she's very popular.
Yeah.
But look, yeah, I admire her work, yeah.
Yeah, that's what Brett Lee also said. But
Of course, yeah.
Yes. On that note, thank you, Tim. Thank you, Steve. It was
Thank
a
you.
pleasure talking to both of you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Cheers.